many of us can
Seriously.
be like VDM. He is practicing selfless leadership in the sense that he is putting out his reputation, his security for Nigerians. Every leader who needs or who wants to be a selfless leader must first understand the reason why he is a leader. Why are you contesting for that position? Why are you Mr. President? Why are you Madam Vice President? You would find some of our leaders leaving our states to other countries outside to go do what will not directly benefit or impact the people.
We have leaders who are playing leaders in front of the camera, in the public, where people are around, but then when they go home, they are not.
How can leaders exhibit living the true essence of leadership? Would we have more of VDM do what they do? Because it seemed to me like one man is doing what
Thousands should do.
Yes. Hello, welcome to Question No Podcast, a segment of podcasts that we question everything about the church, African community, and family. And I am your host, Ubong Johnny. And today is an amazing day, beautiful day, that we're going to discuss something very juicy, something that affects our country, something that affects also our family, and even to the church as it may. And I have amazing guests in the house that have joined me today, and I'm pleased. Trust me, I'm very happy to have Mr. Ini Jimmy to my right. You know, when they say a man will start by your right hand, he's sitting by my right hand. And I have Miss Victoria Williams to my left. It's so good to have us join us today.
Thank you so much, Ubong Johnny. It's so good to be on the Quest to Know podcast. Quest to Know, amazing.
Yeah.
You're doing very well. So
Thank
good to be
you.
here. Thank you so much for having us on this podcast.
Thank you very much. Oh, Miss Williams, you want to say?
Yes, thank you so much. It's good to be here with you, Bong, on the Question No podcast.
Yeah.
Of course, to talk about the matters, issues that bother us as young people, and as it relates to the African society or community, as you call it.
Impressive.
Thank you for having us.
All right, so before we delve straight into the topic of the day, Mr. Ini Jimmy is a trained human anatomist, and then is a compere, a very seasoned compere, and also is a transformational leader. And above all, is the host of the Leadership Clinic. You can see it on his t-shirt.
Yes. Leadership Clinic.
Where we treat leadership
Leaders.
matter. We go to the theater and we dissect what's about leadership. Right?
Yeah, sure. Why not?
And amazing, guys. He's hosting a very big one in the city of Uyo. Wherever you are in Ghana, South Africa, Australia, India, you want to. It will be live, right?
It is streamed live on YouTube.
Yes. So you want to plug in and get to know what the Leadership Clinic deals about when it comes to the area of leadership. Thank you very much once again for joining us.
Sure.
All right. So Miss, did I just prophesy?
You can be right though.
Miss Victoria Williams is a historian, a seasoned public speaker, a writer, and the founder of the Scholars Academy Africa. She was educating me on this matter, and she's doing an amazing job on this. So please, the Scholars Academy Africa is online. Do we have?
Yes, we have an online community.
Okay.
Yes,
Yeah.
and we have a Facebook page too.
Wow. So you want to
anyone
plug in,
who wants to look up.
Yes, and look at what this amazing lady is doing. All right. So to the topic of today, our topic for today is selfless leadership, living the true essence of purpose and leadership. Selfless leadership, living the true essence of purpose and leadership. It's such a lamenting or a pathetic situation that in Nigeria now, till now, we are still crying the cry for good governance. We are still crying the cry for leadership. We are still yearning that we have leaders who truly have the people at heart and can fend for the people and can hear the people's cry and can look into security, look into education. So we want to look at the aspects of selfless leadership. And as a matter of fact, in this year's Leadership Clinic, that is the topic. And I thought it's important to do the same topic. So before we continue, let me ask Mr. Jimmy, sir, what is selfless leadership to you?
All right, thank you for that question. Selfless leadership to me is the kind of leadership that puts the people first before the leader. All right. So it prioritizes the well-being, the growth of others above personal recognition or above personal gains. So if I am leading, if I am giving a task or I am bringing a principle or a policy, it should be a policy that would be of good use or effective use to the people and not to me alone. That is selfless leadership for me. Basically, that's it.
Wow, impressive. Ma, at any point, I know because of your level of exposure, you might have tested some level of leadership. When you served as a leader, or if you're still a leader, as it may.
Of course, she's leading.
Yes, she's leading.
Absolutely.
Yes. What is selfless leadership in your terms?
Well, for me, selfless leadership, I'd like to build on what Jimmy is saying because he's actually right, where leadership in this sense is centered on people. So, excuse me. Yeah. So selfless leadership is basically the kind of impactful and profound leadership that focuses on the needs of the people. So whatever it is that you hope to achieve as a leader, it has to be with the benefits of the people you're leading in mind. So in selfless leadership, the leader is being decentered while the people are the center.
Please rewind.
Say it again.
I said in selfless leadership, the leader is decentered while the people are centered.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so now bringing this definition to our Nigerian leadership. So in politics, in the church, in the educational sector, in health, what would you say about Nigeria's state of selfless leadership?
Well, I think that the situation of leadership in Nigeria actually needs some revamping, because we see that leaders are self-centered, of course, and are driven by, should I say, the need to look after themselves first before the people. And they do not have to say this. You can see it in the policies and the implementation.
In the happenings.
Yes, everything around testifies to that. The fact that we actually lack selfless leaders.
You know, I saw a post, Mr. Bong Johnny, about, I think someone made a post, and it could be VDM, it could be him, right? And he said he was trying to put, to us how we have a state in our country that is currently going through some insecurity issues.
Yes.
And then you would find some of our leaders leaving our states to other countries outside to go do what would not directly benefit or impact the people. Instead of going there to see, oh, my people, we have come, we have heard what's happening here. Yes. So sorry, how can we help? But people just go out to do other things, maybe for the calm or something. But this does not show selfless leadership. It doesn't. It doesn't.
Looking at the topic says living the true essence. Living the true essence. So let me bring this question direct.
Sure.
How can leaders exhibit living the true essence of leadership? How can we inculcate it into a day-to-day living?
There are things that every leader must understand.
Okay.
That's why we said living the true essence of purpose and leadership. Now, the first step to me is understanding why. And that is the question of purpose. Why? So why are you contesting for that position? Why are you the CEO of that business? Why are you Mr. President? Why are you Madam Vice President? Is it because you just want the name or the fame, or because you have a reason why you went for that position to impact, to lead people and take them from where they are to where they ought to be? So for me, it seems like leaders forget their whys. That's why they don't really get to put people in their hearts while they lead. So the first thing is that every leader who needs or who wants to be a selfless leader must first understand the reason why he is a leader. The why is very important. Yeah. Secondly, is that they must understand that leadership is service. Because in service, you live the true essence of leadership.
Yes.
So you have a couple of leaders who wants to be out and be directing and be giving tasks and be sending messages without wanting to take part in the teamwork. And that is just is at all, right?
Yeah.
So leaders will be able to know that, okay, service is important. But number two, it is also rooted in integrity. All right, it's very important. It's very important. So leaders should lead people not because of what they want to gain from the people, or because of what the people will gain from me. So having this mindset will help me to live every day of my life living because of the people and not because of me. So at this point, what Victoria said is that I am decentered, and the people now come to the center. And that is leadership, basically.
Wow.
Yes. And I'd like to add that another element of selfless leadership is humility. Yes, because if you want to lead selflessly, you have to be humble enough to come down to understand the needs of the people that they are looking to lead. You have to be able to listen, not just listening, but listening with the purpose of implementing, those things that will actually look like you've listened to the people, do the things that the people need. Yes, so you have to be humble enough, because if you do not have humility, you may feel like the challenges of the people you lead is a bother to you. Yes.
Wow, impressive. All right, guys, if you've not subscribed to any of our social media handle, we are Quesno Podcast on YouTube, Quesno Podcast on TikTok, Facebook, and on Instagram. Please do well to subscribe and follow us so that you get more thought-provoking and interesting videos. All right, back to our topic. So I think you once mentioned the case of VDM. I want us to touchlight its matter a bit. Okay. Yeah. Would we have more of VDM do what they do? Because it seemed to me like one man is doing what
thousands should do.
Yes, or what an organization or a body who was set to do that cannot do. So at what point can we say that citizens should rise to selfless leadership and do the necessity in the society?
So I think, Ubong, you have to start to be like VDM. Because you should start. But I salute his courage, and not many of us can
seriously
be like VDM. But we really, really wish that many of us can be like that, because trust me, he is practicing selfless leadership in the sense that he is putting out his reputation, his security for Nigerians. Are you getting that point? Seriously. And I'm wondering, this guy, they just, they handcuffed him, FCC, right? Yeah. I think they took him, took him to jail, and he still comes out clamoring and speaking on our behalf of the issues happening in this country. So for me, I want to say that if we have young people, if we have Nigerians, if we have people like us, right, young leaders who can begin to serve as advocates for issues that concern leadership that we're not satisfied with, I think that the change that we need might just come very soon. Come very soon. But for now, away from speaking about issues that bothers us, in our little spaces, are we living selfless leadership? In your business, in your family, in your dealings with fellow human beings, are you selfless? Are you living effective leadership? So at that point is where we begin to see how to grow from here, and hope that someday that we'll get to the top, or we'll get to somewhere we can effect more change to help our people enjoy democracy and enjoy leadership, as it were.
Yeah, thank you. All right, Miss Victoria. Yes,
sir.
I think Nigeria need more selfless leaders, as you've mentioned. So what would you say are the ingredients missing in the current leadership status of Nigeria?
Okay.
What can you look at the current leadership in our country, even in our school, to the SUG?
Don't go there, sir. Don't go there.
Every corners, the macro and the micro politics, and even the church. What do you think is missing? What do you think the few things we can fix and then sort out leadership issues in this country?
Well, one of the things I'd like to, it's very basic, but one of the things I think is having the people in mind.
Okay.
Yes, it's very important to always want to be people-centered. If you are, you mentioned VDM, and talking about the rise of more VDMs. And I was going to say that you can be Ubong Jimmy,
Ubong Johnny, yeah.
Yes, you can be Ubong Johnny. Mr. Nijimi can be Inijimi. I can be Victoria Williams, and I can begin to ask, what can I do to help from where I am? Right? So we have to understand that selfless leadership is people-centered. So you have to first begin with having people in mind. The next thing is integrity. We have leaders who are playing leaders in front of the camera, in the public where people are around, but then when they go home, they are not really leaders. And if you come very close to these people, you see that they're not really, leading, as it were. So what really is integrity? Integrity is being the person you say you are when people are looking at you, when people are not looking at you.
True.
Yes. So if we have those kinds of people who have integrity, then we can say that a problem has been solved as far as selfless leadership is concerned.
Wow, impressive. So we have a lot of people who are followers when it comes to leadership. Will not deny the fact. What is the place of the followers to play so as to help the leader become a selfless leader? Yeah, I don't even understand my question.
Sure, I do.
Okay.
I do. Leadership is not complete if there is no followership.
Okay.
So we have leadership leaders and we have followership followers, because there has to be people to lead. All right. So now the people that the leaders are leading, they are not subjects in quotes. They have a voice. They have a say. They are human beings. They are people. All right. So for me, followers should understand that the leaders are there because of them. And so if they are not satisfied, there is a way, there is a means, or there are means to communicate their dissatisfaction to the leader or that leadership. How do you do that? You can politely communicate maybe some issue you were having with a leader on something, politely, that, oh, sir, oh, ma, this is the issue that we're having. And we think that if it's done this way, it can be better for us and for our society. Although we know that some leaders might not listen to it, which is also a fault on the part of leaders, because they should learn to listen, take feedback, all right, from the followers, all right? So when followers should not just keep short or keep quiet because they have leaders. No, they should be able to know how to communicate their issues, challenges, problems politely to the leader, with the hope that they will listen and they will act on it. And that's it.
So based on that, let me come, ma. How do you deal with, have you ever served under a leader who does not listen? How do you crack? How do you break through? What are the possible ways that, because I once served under a person, when he calls for meeting, he called us for meeting to hear our thoughts, and then he'll be the one talking from the beginning to the end. When somebody wants to talk about the way they feel, or he will just have a way of cutting and so how do we crack and break in and submit our honest feedback, thank you, to the leader?
I'd like to begin from somewhere before we get to that point, because remember that all leaders have different backgrounds, different experiences, and you mentioned that I'm a historian. I studied history and international relations, and we talk about policy development, and we say that when you have a leader, the upbringing, the background, everything that makes up that leader can have the capacity to reflect on the policy. You also have where systems reflect the policy. So you have to study the people that you want to follow to be sure that you really are willing to be led by this person, right? I'm sure that when you have told yourself that you're willing to be led by this person, you will always, there's always a means, a channel to communicate your grievances. Yes. And I'm sure that in cases where you have these kinds of leaders that do not listen, I mean, like I said, you have the right to choose who leads you. And if you can't communicate, you can leave. That's how it is. If you have a leader who doesn't listen, definitely you have to, maybe you can seek guidance for someone close to them, okay, who can say, okay, this is how to approach this person. But if you've tried and tried and tried, and you see that this person is not forthcoming, there's nothing wrong with walking away.
Walking away.
Yeah, nothing absolutely wrong with that. Just walk away. If you can't cope.
Yes, because
it makes it just begin to be toxic.
Yes.
Right? You begin to, it might even be forced to get into some depression or something because there is no communication, right? You don't feel like the leader hears you. You're not involved. You're not included. If it's so, then you can't thrive in such a place. So it's okay to leave if you have tried everything you can and you cannot survive. Please, dear leader, it's okay to leave. But away from that, like Victoria said, I think I made this mistake when I started, because when I started all of this public speaking and leadership thing, I was just very passionate, that first time stuff. And so I didn't really sit down to understudy the people that I wanted to follow. It's important. So if you are listening to this podcast today and you have a passion for something, it is important that you study the kind of people you want to follow. Look out if their values aligns with your own. Look at their background, look at where they're coming from. Look at if they actually really have the capacity to help you to become. All right. If not, there's no point rushing into looking for mentor, father, mentor. Hold on, relax, and learn all you can. And also look out for the best person to mentor you.
Wow.
Or to follow, basically. Yeah.
For me, one of the amazing leaders that I like to follow at times is Moses in the Bible.
Yeah, sure.
And then it's amazing that this guy led 3 million people out of the land of Egypt.
Yeah.
Heading to the promised land, flowing with milk and honey. And then the interesting part is that this guy was, and as the Bible will have it, is that in the face of the earth, he was the most. He was so meek.
He was meek.
Yes, he was very meek.
Yes.
And then this is the same guy that the people talked down.
Yeah.
And they don't allow him enter the promised land.
Yeah.
So, sir, you were one time the president of the Department of Human Anatomy.
Sure.
And then did you experience, or how should a leader navigate through trying to be selfless? Moses was just trying to be selfless, and then the people were telling, we want water, you better die. How does a leader who is honestly wanting to be a selfless leader break through or navigate through these toxic followers?
In 2022, I contested and won that position to be president of my department in school. And I was given a fresh set of people to lead. From different culture, different perspectives, from diverse places. Yeah. And so what did I do, like you said? Now, I'm not really sure that they were toxic in quotes. Okay. But I feel like they at that first point, that first moment, they couldn't really understand the energy that I was gonna bring to the table. So what did I do? At some point, leaders must be able to see how to take their followers to understand the vision that they have. If not, for everything you do, they will feel like you are doing it because you want to be seen or you want to be known.
Absolutely.
So as a leader, the first thing to do is to communicate the vision clearly to the followers or team that you have on your team, people you have on your team, right? So I did that. I had to call for a workshop. Say, all executives, please come. Yeah. This is my vision. This is Inijimi. Yeah. This is me. So when I do this, do not ever feel as though I'm doing it because I want to be seen, I want to be shown. That's one. Okay. Number two, you must be able to ensure as a leader that the people's vision is also included in your vision.
Your master plan, yeah.
Because nobody you come do presidency now. So I had to ask them, what is your plan? Yeah. What is your plan? What's your plan? We now see how to fuse it and work as a team to achieve it. So as a leader, inclusivity is absolutely important in leadership. Being able to get other people's ideas let them count. Now,
Yeah.
not just hearing or listening to it and listen. No, letting it count. And if at any point you cannot execute the idea that they had given, you should be able to be humble enough to explain why that could not work. And that is leadership. So I was able to navigate that by sharing my vision. This is in this is a plan.
Yeah.
That's why we're here. Number two, also involving their plans in my plan, and we work together as a team to achieve them. So with that, I was able to break into their minds and their heart. Thirdly, care is important in leadership. The heart, empathy. So people who know Jimmy, I am big on checking in. I am big on being caring. I am big on looking out for my team members, for my followers. All right. So I did that many times, and it got them to buy into me, and so they were able to do stuff for me for departments because they saw that I was some good leader, basically. Yeah. So that's it.
Wow, interesting. I think I remember the phrase someone said, if you care for the people will care for the work.
Yes.
Interesting.
My cousin said, one of my cousins.
Yeah.
He said, if I grew up with him, I looked at him, I saw how people were naturally attracted to him, they liked him, and I asked him how it was possible for him to have so many people around him. He said, if you genuinely care about people, they will like you.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
If you genuinely care about people, and the thing about genuine care, people can feel it, they can sense it.
They know.
When you're just acting it, they will feel it. And
They
when
know.
you're doing that genuinely,
very important.
they will be naturally drawn to you. And I've seen it because it's not a theory, it's a gospel that he has lived. Yeah, so whenever I look at people antagonizing, when it comes to followership, I sit back and I ask myself, do I really care about these people? Because if I care, they will feel it. Yes.
Wow. The place to care for the people is important. For if selfless leadership needs to be selfless leadership, then the place of care is important. Thank you, Sir Jimmy, for that. All right, Ma, let me come to this. Still on the case of Moses now. Seriously talking about selfless leadership.
Absolutely.
He said he forgot the pleasure of Egypt and he chose to suffer with his people.
Yeah.
So he went to the Bible says it was good in the knowledge and the wisdom of Egypt, as that the world powers are then.
Yeah.
So he forwent everything and chose to suffer with his people. So one of the things that Moses did that interested me was when his father-in-law told him, you will die of this work if you do it alone. Why not appoint or anoint 70 leaders? Also, so now that brings to the subject where leaders raising other leaders.
Yes.
So, Ma, what is your take and how should leaders help in raising other leaders as it relates to selfless leadership?
One of the things, Jimmy has said something earlier. He talked about communicating vision. And when he was talking about communicating vision, something came to my mind. We used to call it in student politics stakeholder mapping.
Absolutely. Stakeholders engagement.
Yes, where you work with people. If you think that you don't really know a lot of people or your people don't like you, you work with the people they already like. Okay?
Wow.
And the question is, how do you raise followers to become leaders? It is very, very important that you have to take notes and look at the people who have what we call the desire.
Okay.
Because if you're trying to raise followers to be leaders and they do not have the desire in them to grow, it's going to thwart your effort.
True.
So you have to always look for the desire. It's very important. And then you have to also look for opportunities as you're growing to allow these people to grow. I like what Mr. Jimmy does.
Okay.
In his community called Leadership Clinic. We have a community on WhatsApp, and then in that community, we have what we call the in-house session, where Mr. Nijimi invites professionals and people that have been able to have a kind of breakthrough in the industries to speak with people. Speak to the people in the community. And you know what he does? When he wants to host this event, he doesn't bring external speakers. He brings people within the community. Even the people that moderate the session are people who are, you see, in that process, the people are learning, they're growing. It's a method that the leaders give people the opportunity to show themselves, shines a spotlight on them. When you do that, it can help people grow and gradually move from that place of followership to leadership.
Wow.
Amazing
Impressive,
thoughts.
impressive,
Amazing thoughts.
impressive.
Amazing thoughts. But I will add to that.
Yeah.
I went to the More Leadership Academy.
Yeah.
Sure. So I'm a proud student of the academy,
Yeah.
Yo Aquabum State,
Yeah.
led by Morgan Kanem. And he taught us transformational leadership, which is a kind of leadership that seeks to raise leaders and not raise followers. Although there are other types of leadership, which is pseudo-transformational and transactional.
Yeah.
So even when leaders are trying to build followers to become leaders, most times if you look at it, it might not be genuinely because they want to do so, which is not good. So some leaders would want to build you so they come and work for me.
Yes, that's pseudo leadership.
You get right?
Yeah.
But the real and ideal should be that I am building you for you.
For you.
I am building you for you. So not building you because I want you to come and be doing video for me or be speaking on in my community or be a speaker at my events. No, I should build you taking into consideration your own interests, your own passion, your own life generally, right?
Yeah.
So with that in mind, leaders can actually raise effective leaders to do things in their different spheres of life, not just because of me alone. Like she said, desire is important because it's hard to teach someone who doesn't even want to be taught.
Yes.
Yeah.
So the person that you want to raise must be interested in being raised.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Very important. So once that is done, it is easier because once you're trying to share opportunities, he or she will take it seriously. All right, take it seriously, and then you try to see how to move ahead to do those things that you ask them to do. Like she loves to read. She loves to read a lot, right? So if she wants to build someone, the person has to also learn how to read. Sometimes the person might not be that ready, but because he or she has had the desire to grow, she must learn to read like Victoria Williams. And once she shares her a book or shares him or her a book, the person will take it seriously. That's when they have the desire and then discipline adds to that, right? To make it whole. And that's it basically. So we can raise effective leaders from followership.
Wow. I love this session so much. Oh wow, a lot of questions are bubbling in my head.
Yeah, you want to calm down.
Take it slow.
So I guess that you guys are really enjoying and learning. Please, if you have writing materials, it's a good time to write, and because this will help you a lot. This will help you so much. All right, Sir Jimmy.
Yeah.
I'm sure you were introduced into the leadership sphere quite early.
Yeah, quite early.
So can we journey through your leadership? Your leadership journey.
Just before we get there, I think last year when we had the 3rd edition of Leadership Clinic, all right, my father was in attendance, and then he said that when I was little, I used to say that I want to be a leader. I don't know how.
He said that. I was there.
He said that. And I also recall that while in primary school and secondary school, you will always find me wanting to be in the A class. I didn't like B. My JS 1A, JS 2A, JS 3A, SS 1A, SS 2A, SS 3A, all was A. Why? I wanted to be first. I wanted to be a leader. So when I came to school in 2018, right? I just saw myself being interested in the things of leadership. I wanted to be a course rep. I wanted to lead one team or the other. And I did these things so well. People commended my efforts, commended, my service on that team. So I was like, this is it for me, right? What did I do? I had to look for somewhere to go and learn. And the first place I saw was LMC by Mr. Paul Oda. I went there 4 Fridays in the month of February, sometime 2023 or so. Yeah. Remember, right? And then I got a lot of knowledge from that. I started speaking with him, and that is how Jimmy's journey of leadership started. And that is how the clinic started. Although the clinic started because I found a problem in my department an issue of communication and then goal setting. So I had to like organize 1.0. So okay, please let me call some speakers to come and speak and share to our students on how to communicate their vision and how to set their goals. Because I found out that whenever people want to contest for a position, you ask them why, they don't know. You are a leader. That was all they knew. So I was like, why? Because there should be a reason why you are going. What are your plans for the people? So it wasn't there. So that's what came about 1.0. And trust me, Ubong and Victor, my friend, right? I didn't think that this would come this far. I didn't think so. But here we are, hosting the fourth edition of this clinic. And it has been it gets better every year. So I got to MLA. I studied leadership there. I got to Deep Africa. I read books by Jose Maxwell, by Simon Sinek, and a couple of other great speakers, by Paul Uda, all right? And I just had to see how to invest time into personal development. I'm not the best. I'm not there yet, right? But every day, we keep working towards the bigger goal. And yes, we'll see all of us at the top.
Absolutely.
I before you even mentioned self-development, I was about to come to that.
Yes.
Miss Victoria,
Yes.
what is the importance of self-development for a leader? How can we not overemphasize the place of self-development?
I mean, well, I'll start by saying what I want to say before I actually say it.
Okay.
I want to say that you see what the skeleton, the human skeleton is to the human body.
Yeah.
That is what self-development is to leadership. Yes, because without self-development, I mean, you have to be able to lead yourself to be able to lead others.
Absolutely.
So sometimes you don't just start out and then tell people, "Come follow me." I mean, if you do that, people won't follow you. So when you invest in knowledge, you invest in learning, because leadership is results. You know that?
True.
Leadership is results.
True.
When you invest in yourself, when you acquire knowledge, when you expose yourself to those things that will help you to become a better person, over time, the results will be, it will yield results. And when people see you, they will come to you. They will want to be better because you are better.
Absolutely.
People, I'm speaking from experience. People come to me and say, "How can I be the way you are? How are you able to do these things?" That is self-development. And if I want to talk about my journey of self-development over the years, and I tell you where I'm coming from, and you will understand that the only reason I am here today is because of my desire for self-development and continuous learning.
Wow.
Okay? And just like Mr. Nijimi here, my leadership journey started from birth because, of course, I was the first of 6 children.
Yeah.
So you can say
You're naturally born
a born leader, okay? But as I progressed in life, I begin to see that positional leadership can only do so much. We have to move from there to transformational leadership. And how do you get there? By investing and developing yourself and doing the very things that will enable you, because leadership is a tough nut to crack. You have to learn resilience, you have to learn communication, you have to learn initiative.
Absolutely.
Because without initiative, people won't want to follow you. You have to be able to set goals and follow through. So self-development is to leadership what the human skeleton is to the human body.
Wow. Still on the matter of selfless leadership, selfless leader, raising leaders that are decentered for the people to be centered.
Absolutely.
I learned that from Victoria. All right, let me come to Victoria. Ma, do you think the leaders in Africa have failed the youths of Africa? And how can they make it up to us? Is it Burkina Faso, the youngest?
Yes, that's Burkina Faso.
We have a young president, a young leader.
So looking at what he has done so far for his country, which I think countries in Africa should replicate despite the hits. So I think there's so much more Africans or Africa can do with, because we know that statistics has it that almost 60% of Africans are young people.
Yeah.
And other countries, okay, I saw a documentary how someone in the European continent said, he was asked, if you're supposed to invest in a continent, which continent would you invest in? He said Africa, because of the strength and the energetic
We have strength.
Seriously.
Amazing people.
So, what do you think our governance or our leaders? So when I say leaders, of course, it's government, but it cut across just government.
Yes.
So, in your thoughts, what
I
do you
was
think?
I was going to, when I paused and
Yeah.
you said, do you think it was a direct question? And it's very, very political question.
Okay.
I want to say that it is time that young people in Africa begin to, think about what they can do, what their role is in helping Africa move from where it is to where it is supposed to be. I mean, during the break, I think I just mentioned something to you that Africa is not where it is supposed to be. We have inherent problems in the African society. We see, like you mentioned, we have sit-tight syndrome. Sit-tight syndrome, what's that? Where we have leaders who want to perpetually be in power. And it's not like we do not have the population of young people that can rise, that can be more actively involved in the story of Africa, in rewriting the leadership story of Africa. So I think that the young people need to be more concerned. Okay, there's more to what young people are capable of doing.
Yeah.
The other day I had the opportunity of speaking at an inaugural ceremony in a student leadership council at Tabak in Akwa Ibom State, and they were talking about unemployment, tackling unemployment. And I had the opportunity to speak to people, and I said, sometimes you have to sit back and ask, am I employable?
Big question. Big question.
Because when you talk about employment, everyone is blaming the government, the systems. Those problems are there, but what role can you play? Are you employable? Are you preparing yourself to be employed? Do you think that you have what it takes to get a job and keep that job? Right? So I think it's time we young people stop sitting back and saying that, pointing fingers, that the older people are there that are doing this. We have to actively participate in the leadership process and the leadership in Africa. How do we do that? By being involved, right? I speak from experience, and I like how you said we're speaking from the heart. We're not bringing scripts to speak. There was a time some years ago during an election period like this, I saw a group of young people at home. They were playing, all above 18. And when I was going home to get my voter's card, and people were making, mocking me. Why are you disturbing yourself? You're just wasting your time.
What will be, will be.
What will be, will be. You understand? And I said, it doesn't matter. If what must be, that's it. I will play my part. I will cast my vote.
Absolutely.
So we have to be interested in the political education. That's another thing. We have to take education very seriously. Education, because if you're not educated, you won't have the desire to, you don't think you have what it takes. There's a confidence that education gives you.
Yeah.
So if you're not educated, if you do not understand the Nigerian political system, the landscape, you will feel like you don't have what it takes to take power from people who have been there for years. So you have to be actively involved, and you can play your part. If you already know how the process is, if you're someone who participates in an election and you see young people who are not interested, that's where you come in. You can educate them, let them understand. Because sometimes people do the things that they're not supposed to do, not because they really want to do it, but because they don't know that they can do it better. They can do something else. So when you know, it becomes your problem to educate people who do not know. So instead of saying, keep spending our time discussing about how African leaders have failed us. What do we know where we are? How can we come in here? How can we also come up as young people, make our voices to be heard? How can we change the situation? Okay? It's just like when we study the African political economy in school or the African economic system. Say, oh, the Europeans, the Americans have enslaved Africa for years. They have done this, the systems are there. But even at that, what is it that we're doing to be able to move Africa, the economic system from the way it is now to a better place? So we all have a role to play. Yes, we have to stand up
Sorry, Subong,
Yes.
just to comment on the question you asked her about, the leaders failing us.
Yes.
I won't say that they have failed us.
Okay.
They have not failed us.
Okay.
They are doing their best to deliver good governance. All right. But one plead I would love to plead on behalf of Nigerian youths is that the government should please listen to us more. They should listen to us more, number one. Number two, they should give young people the opportunity to lead, to govern. Because trust me, we have seen examples of good young leaders. Sorry, great young leaders. But they do not have that opportunity because they are not given. I think I should commend my governor, Pastor Moino, who is doing his best to give young people in our state opportunity. So yes, they're not failing us per se, but please, our leaders that are there, can you please give the young people the chance, the privilege to lead, to govern, and let's see if they will not do it. Of course, they will, because we have young people who are actually preparing themselves. Someone like me, I'm preparing myself. Right? So please give us the chance. Let us see how we can contribute our own quota, our own knowledge, our own ideas to making our society, our families first, society, and our country work. So that's it.
See, I looking at the history of Nigeria, the historian, looking at the history of Nigeria, and I observed that a lot of our early leaders or our pioneer leaders were leaders in their 20s
They were
and
very young people.
30s.
Yes.
People who took up the responsibility of this country, that shouldered this when they are 20s. And I'm like, what's happening now? That brings me to this question you already mentioned. Mr. Jimmy, if you are given 3 months to rule Nigeria, mention 4 things you want to put in place, and then posterity will ever live to remember you, sir.
Miss Tubong Johnny. That's a very big question. You want me to answer that? What do you think?
Do you?
Yeah, do you want me to answer that?
Yes, you should.
Why should? Okay, I should.
Yes, you should. I mean.
Okay, I think because she does a lot of essay competition, and I'll record that we have some topics that would say, if you were the president, what would you do, right? Yeah. So it's like an essay for me. Okay,
sounds like
so I won't say much. I'll just go to the point, right? First, if I have such an opportunity, the first thing I will do is to find out which sectors are the ones that would provide more income for the country beyond oil. Because I feel like we have so many untapped areas in the country. And sometimes these untapped areas are not tapped because leaders feel that if it is tapped, there will be too much and there will be too much gain. Selfishness, selflessness. So for me, I will find out what are the areas or sectors or ideas that we can tap into to make this country better than it is. First thing. Second thing I'll do is that I will ensure that every Nigerian house has lights. Because trust me, businesses will try better if there is light. My friend sews and he uses I mean, because it's not like we are spending too much money on fuel, printers on the street, people who are making hair, a lot. So if we can just have light in this country, things will be a little maybe easy for us. What does it take to give a Nigerian home light in this our country, in this Nigeria? Like, I think so. Right? Yes. That's number 2. Number 3, I will ensure that we have a good educational system because education is very important. You know, I will ensure that our people at home, even in the rural areas, in the urban areas, that everybody, every human being, every Nigerian has access to quality
Education. Yes.
We don't have to, it's good to go out to learn how others do their things, but it mustn't be everyone striving to go out because we don't have that quality of education.
Yes.
So why not we provide the content here?
Yeah.
And let our people also enjoy what is here. Fourth, I will try to ensure that we have a good healthcare system.
That's how they are giving manifesto as a presidential candidate.
When there is life, there is hope.
Yes.
A lot of people trust me. By the way, I'm currently serving in a hospital, right? So I see a lot of cases, that they bring. By God's grace, where I'm serving is quite a standard hospital in quotes, but then it's so expensive, and not many people can afford that kind of health care. Many people, many of us, many people have lost their lives, lost children, lost wives, because they were not able to afford basic healthcare facilities or healthcare provision for them. So as a country, if you can ensure that, our healthcare, if you go to some villages, their healthcare have been covered up with grasses, not painted, no equipment, no drugs, no nothing, no syringe, nothing. So I would love that if I were to be a president, at least these four things, I will ensure that we have good healthcare system. We have a kind of environment that permits for our life expectancy to be increased and not just decreased. Why are we decreasing? It was 70 before, but I think it's now about 60 or something. Why are we always decrease? Why can't we live up to 100 and 100 and above, as God wills? So these four things, amongst many others, are what I would have loved, for it to be done. And I think with these four things, the country can really
Sure,
be better.
it can be better.
Yes.
It can be better. All right. Thank you, amazing viewers, for viewing till this point here on Quest to Know podcast as we delve into the matter of selfless leadership. And trust me, if this is fixed, Nigeria as a country and Africa as a continent become a better place where people can live and even people can migrate. We will not be jackbarring again.
Yeah.
We'll stay.
Nigeria will be a tourist center.
Yeah. All right. As we bring this to a close, I want to give my guests 1 minute to give an overview and a summary and talk to our audience in just 1 minute, is their take about selfless leadership. Let's start with you, man. You see ladies first, right?
Sure, ladies first. Why not?
Thank you very much. To round this up, I'd like to say that, like I said from the beginning, that selfless leadership is about centering people and decentering the leaders. Selfless leadership is about decentering the leader and centering people. You have people in mind, the project, the policies, everything you want to do, you have to have the people at heart, because there's no way you can lead people fully, to where they're supposed to be. Because, of course, as Mr. Jimmy mentioned earlier, in leadership, you're looking at bringing people from where they are to where they are supposed to be. So you cannot bring people from where they are to where they're supposed to be thinking about yourself. That is like my, should I say, the overarching principle of selfless leadership. Focus on people.
Thank you very much, man. Thank you for joining us on Quest to Know podcast.
Thank you.
All right, signing.
Yeah, I'll just share 4 things. I really would love that leaders, starting from Jimmy, to take note of. That when we talk about selfless leadership, first, we're talking about purpose and not power. Purpose and not power. Why are you there? Why are you leading? Why are you the CEO? Why are you the team lead? Why are you the president? Beyond the position, beyond the title, focus more on purpose, genuine purpose, and not power. Secondly, embrace empathy over ego. Embrace empathy over ego. We have leaders who are short of empathy. All right, they are short of empathy. So if you could just listen to your followers more, if you could just put yourself in their shoes to know how they feel, to understand their needs, you would do better, and they will feel better with your leadership. Third is position. All right.
Yeah.
Transformation over position. Right. Leave titles. Leave position. Lead because you want genuine transformation of the people you are leading. Number 4, results over relationship. Now, let me explain that.
Okay.
I'll rephrase. Number 4 thing is relationships over results.
Okay.
Now, what do I mean? Most times, we have leaders who are only focused on results without caring about the people. Do you understand now?
Yes,
so if as a leader who wants to be selfless, if you can focus more on building a connection, a genuine connection with your team members, which will now spur them to now produce the results you want. Not that every time you are focused more on the result. Have you done this thing? Have you written it? That task, have you done it? Without even caring, was it okay? Is he sick? Does he have transport? Has he eaten? Is he fine? All right. So selfless leadership would demand that leaders begin to care more for their followers. At least get to ask. At least get to find out. Don't always assume that they are fine, and they should always deliver on the task 24/7. So with this, I think that we can begin to live selfless leadership, which is the true essence and purpose of leadership. And don't forget, it is rooted in service, anchored in purpose, and executed with integrity. Thank you very much.
Jimmy 2025. Wow. What an amazing session here on the Question Up podcast. Having learned so much from these great resource persons. Please, viewers, help me clap for these guys. Amazing.
Sure, so why not?
Amazing. Thank you very much, amazing listeners, for joining us and watching to this point. Don't forget, on Question Up podcast, we challenge the norm and we question the status quo. According to Miss Victoria Williams, she said, selfless leadership is decentering the leader and centering on the people. And according to Mr. Jimmy, he gave us 4 points, which I will rephrase, which I will re-echo. He said, purpose over power, empathy over ego, transformation over position, and relationship over results. These things should be the watchword of every leader.
Absolutely.
What you should always look out for. And we trust that Nigeria, Africa, even to our families and churches will be a better place.
Yes.
Thank you very much, sir, for joining us. Thank you very much, ma'am.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
So let's invite
Journey.
you for now.
Can I say you're an amazing host?
You are.
Yes,
He is.
please.
He
Dear
is.
viewers, Johnny, an amazing
Thank you.
host.
Thank you.
Please follow, subscribe, like, and comment. He's doing an amazing job here. Thank you, Johnny. God bless you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
you.
Bye for now.